a sinner, left my lover crying on the dance floor. I'm a sinner, I'm a sinner.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to I Wani Hug That Gator. We're on the final ending of I Wani Hug That Gator. The sun was hanging low by the time the pizza was finished, which meant it was time. It didn't take much to convince Damien and Mr. Payne to take me out to the fountain once Olivia fully explained why. We arrived at the deserted park just as the sun sank behind the horizon. Hurriedly, Damien and Randy and I got to work. The male Paynes held the widescreen projector of Randy's car for me. Okay. Doing their best to direct the remaining sunlight towards the fountain. The focus was just the details of it, after all. The more references for Olivia, the better. No words, just task at hand. Constantly moving to also keep warm and serious. The only thing to stop us was the daylight finally vanishing. My memory card was filled completely with reference shots for Olivia, a good 100 and some from every conceivable angle. And arriving back, Sophia had unfolded the couch into a bed for me. It hadn't even occurred to me how late it would be, or how bad the weather could end up. I feel like I'm frozen to the core, combined with my clothes becoming damp from melting frost. Instead, Olivia dragged me onto the lumpy mattress of the couch bed, sitting right beside me so I could go through the photos with her. The rest of the household slunk off to bed shortly after, leaving just the two of us alone in the living room. Just huddled together, looking through my camera. We were the only ones still up. And while I wasn't cold anymore, Olivia insisted on keeping me warm by laying across my lap as if she were a very large gator-shaped blanket. Hey. She contorts herself around until she can look into my eyes. Yeah? About earlier. You still owe me. Come on, seriously? It was just a bite. It wasn't just a bite. Her face is on fire, but her eyes remain locked on mine. That didn't count. Oh, what? That peck on the nose, that doesn't count. Olivia, I don't understand. That was our first kiss. Oh, shit. I hadn't even considered that it was our first kiss. Suddenly, my face began to heat up rapidly. It just came to me, and it felt so natural to do it. Well, alright, She crosses her arms. Olivia might have looked intimidating if she wasn't also splayed across my lap while she did it. So you want an actual with interest. A fair trade. Even as I looked down at her with incredulity, Olivia maintains a serious face and posture. Locked in a staring contest with her, I feel my lack of shades has weakened my defenses. I cave in. Alright, I owe you a real kiss. And what else? I want to go on a date. An actual romantic date. The split second I get my chair back. Alright. So, the first part. Olivia's hand reached up, latching onto the sides of my head. I expect her to draw me down roughly, but instead I can feel her hand shake as she slowly guides me downwards. It's awkward and slightly painful how I have to twist at my waist to meet her, but it's worth it. It's soft, chaste, skin and scale pressing lightly together. The hot air of our breaths intermingle. I support myself with my arm over her. Her arms move from my head to around my neck. Our eyes grow heavy. I don't know who faded first, but Olivia clung to me as we drifted to sleep just like that. I stir from my sleep as the morning sun begins to peek through the glass back door. It's quiet. The only sign of life is the light breathing from the girl holding me close. She's wrapped her arms around one of mine, gently nibbling on my shoulder in her sleep. She's warm. I start drifting back to sleep, lulled in by Olivia's soft breathing. My thoughts adrift between sleep and awake. They're puzzle pieces that slowly come together into a single unified phrase that wholly captures what I'm feeling. I love her. I feel a horrible disturbance approaching. Inky, Liv, wake up! The cursed beast plants both of its feet into my chest, shaking me by the collar. Olivia responds by swatting him clean off me with her tail. He's fine. Olivia sets herself up, wiping the sleep from her eyes. Morning, Inko. Saturday morning. A check of my phone says that it's 7:30. 4 hours too early. Barely. I set up, narrowly missing Vinny's second landing zone. He's got the cable remote. The TV flicks to life and Vinny starts flicking through channels at a speed only he can comprehend. Morning, Inko. Damien enters from the hallway. Sorry about the wake-up call. It's Vinny's favorite season. Winter? Hockey. Vinny cheers loudly. I think that's... Okay, that's Dante. Vinny shakes loudly, and I look at the screen to see a player being brutally slammed into a protective glass of the ice rink. Ah. Should we move? Too comfy. Yeah. Hungry. Go make breakfast. What do you want? Big plate of eggs and bacon. Oh, I think I'd burn the kitchen down first. There's plenty of cereal out there if you want some. Olivia drones dramatically. Fine. Gently untangling myself from Olivia's grasp, I shoot Damien a thumbs up as I make my way to the kitchen. A quick search through the cupboards and the fridge nets me the necessary components, and I manage to avoid destroying the kitchen as I pour cereal and milk into 2 plastic bowls. As I give each bowl a spoon, a vibration emanates from my pocket. I whip out my phone to check what it is for. It looks like a new 3-hour analysis of the 3rd place speedrunner record for Wii Golf. The thumbnail displays the record holder's face, with an arrow pointing to it, and the text advertising, the Pone Nut Slurp Strat. What? I'm really not much in the mood for these recently. I'll mute the notifications. And done! As I return to the living room, the scene is a lot more lively. The 2 brothers are commenting on the match to one another while gently shaking the couch with excitement. Olivia has since sat up and wrapped herself in a blanket, only opening a spot for me once I approach. I take a seat, offering her the bowl of sugary goodness, which she greedily accepts. Not too long after, we're cuddling together again as she leans her head against my shoulder. Despite the ruckus, I'm able to find the perfect spot to snuggle with Olivia and enjoy her warmth. This is nice. We do our best to withstand Vinny's ramblings about hockey teams, though it seems like he's more interested in which team gets in the most fights, rather than the wins the most. I look towards Olivia every so often, worried she might be losing interest in just sitting here. But she always reassures me with a gentle smile, one that says she wouldn't have it any other way. Sharing in her contentment, we continue to snuggle on the couch together, occasionally cheering with the brothers as they celebrate a success of their hockey team. Damien and Vinny start shouting in victory as the home team gets the final score. What a slap shot! Heard the excitement in the room, watching hockey again. Sophia settles herself onto the recliner, opening her laptop. Oh, the school's weekly newsletter just came in. Turn down the volume, Damien. Sure thing. Alright. First it says there's a basketball game this Friday against the Tailspikes. In preparation for finals, tutoring will be open after school for everyone that needs it. Damien. I got it covered, Mom. Liz is helping me out. I hope so. Senioritis won't be tolerated. Oh, this is interesting. To all our students, you are invited to St. Homans High School winter formal. Winter formal? Damien yawns and stretches his arm back behind his back. Yeah, some event the seniors get every year. Basically a dance, but more fancy. It's like the biggest event of the year, so it's like a prom. You know, the next graduation or prom or whatever. I don't think any of my various schools did something like this. Just regular dances. Immerse yourself in the serene beauty of the wintry night sky with music, food, entertainment, and much more. We'll also be hosting a special memorial for one of St. Homans' finest teachers who has recently passed, Mr. Trent Latican. Shoot, that's going to be tough to see. The event will take place at Volcadra Convention Center on Friday, December 15th, from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Tickets for the winter form are on sale online or in Miss Prockling's class in 211. $15 for one and $30 for couples. Please read our event dress code to know what will and will not be allowed for the formal. Have a great weekend, go Feathertails. Well, it seems like you three have something to look forward to next month. Mrs. Payne closed her laptop with a smile and set it aside. Mom, it's about that time. She gasps and checks the clock wall. I nearly forgot. Vinny, get your kimono on. I'll start the car. It's called a G, Mom. I'll probably be running some errands while he's at karate practice, so I'll be out until dinner. I'm sure Vinny didn't mean to karate chop my throat as he got up. He's just eager to get to class. The back rub from Olivia helps clear my airways quicker. Well then. Damien switches on some game and slumps in his familiar position in the recliner in mere seconds. I don't even know how he keeps track of the blur of colors on screen. I feel like it's going to give me a seizure if I look too hard at it. Olivia tugs at my arm. Hey, want to head back to my room and watch something? What do you have in mind? Nothing in particular. I'm sure I'll find something good. Alright. I follow Olivia proud march into her room. The scent of paint is still a bit strong. But when is it not in here? It's impressive how she manages to actually hop from kneeling on the floor to kneeling on her bed. Her tail pats the open spot next to her as an invitation. But not for me, as Guts seems to scurry out from wherever he's hiding to curl up right against Olivia's thigh. So I take the spot opposite of him, settling in next to Olivia as she opens up her laptop. On the screen, I see a plethora of folders with incomprehensible names, with multiple brackets alternating between kanji and English. Olivia's cursor flies between each folder, her eyes scrunching in concentration as she tries to find the perfect show. She finally makes her choice, though what it is, I don't know. The name is all Japanese, written in English. And there's like 6 different things in the brackets denoting the language, aspect ratio, and more obscure details. The media player pops open and the first thing to pop up is the silhouette of a Pachyosaurus in old Japanese attire. And then the pop music starts in English. At first I was apprehensive with her pick, but it really is a good show. I'm fully enraptured by the Patcha Samurai's story, along with his budding romance with a young human girl who maintains her Rioni Kenshin. Somebody really likes that anime in this, and I am all for this. We fully settle in, Olivia splaying out across her bed and giving me just enough space to sit with my back against the wall beside her. While I'm fully enjoying the story, split equally between intense sword fighting and bouts of lighthearted comedy, my thoughts go back to something else. The formal. And how to actually ask her to it. She's already going since it's also Mr. Latican's memorial. Olivia already asked me out on a date, kinda. I'd argue strong-armed into it, but then again, I want to go out with her, so it was very Olivia of her. So what would be Inko's way of doing it? Looking around for inspiration, I noticed that my girlfriend has left out a lot of her sketch material. Balled up papers on her sketch pad right by my knee, guts laying atop her colored pencil case, and a mechanical pencil digs into my palm. While Olivia's focused on her laptop screen, the oddly not so bloody sword fight on it, I begin my greatest plan to date. First, I sketch out what's meant to be a fully bodied portrait of Olivia. For the love of God, man. Though the wheelchair ends up looking like it's a normal chair, with rocks for wheels, her hands begin just claws and her tail shrunken down to a quarter of the actual size. It still resembles her. I clip on the mechanical pencil and slowly reach over with the pad, nudging the back of Olivia's head. She swats it and eventually grabs it, yanking it in front of her. And then her tail starts wagging a bit. Bingo. It searches for my arm and wraps around it while Olivia furiously jots something down on the page. I lean forward to lay on my stomach beside her when she passes it back. She drew on the equally rough portrait of me, with my shades missing and my jacket looking more like a button-up. For a while, the two of us resume our drawing game from the start of the school year. Over the course of the Samurai Show's run, we decorate numerous sheets of her sketch pad with nonsensical doodles. Alright, it's time. I make sure my arm's fully in position, is shielding the page. This next drawing has to be special. And I see just the spot for it. My heart flutters a bit as I look over. Could it be a little better? Nah, it's perfect. I pass the sketch pad over, just as I have a half dozen times. Olivia stares at the little doodles on the page. I hear her breathing picking up. She pulls the pad aside, well out of my vision. I feel the bed wobble as she furiously scribbles something down on it. It sure is taking a while. On screen, the Bato whatever has just finished an epic duel, winning with an intelligent use of the technique and his sword sheath, all without killing anyone. The pad is plopped in front of me. Oh boy. Oof. Olivia buries her snoot into my back with my head, nuzzling it aggressively. She's making those bellowing noises again. I'll take that as a resounding yes. You're not gonna let me up, are you? You're all mine. She keeps bellowing, but her focus slowly returns to the episode. For the rest of it, we remain like this. I got big plans. Just you wait. 1 week later. My shoes crunch the snow. Okay, let's see. Can we skip? No, we still can't. Beneath me, behind me, the trail is quickly swept over by fresh snowfall. The cold bites at any flesh it can reach. My ears, my nose, my exposed hands as it carries my precious cargo. Somewhere in the distance, a dog barks. I am alone in this frigid wasteland. And to think this started so simple just 4 days ago. I'd gotten into a new routine at the start of the school week. I'd wake up, head to school, do my thing until the bell rings, then head over to the Payne residence and check on Olivia. She texted me that the draft for the painting was finished, and now it was time for the real task of filling the canvas with color. Every time I'd come over, I would find her sitting at the edge of her bed with a brush in hand, analyzing the canvas with the kind of fire in her eyes that only a visionary like her would have. Back on Tuesday, I got a real craving for root beer. Olivia told me there was a gas station up the street and around the corner and asked if I could get her a normal cola with a strange side eye. The trip was frigid and I probably should have seen where this was going, but the soda was well worth it. Once Olivia found out I could survive the journey, she started requesting I go make her resupply missions. Then I got caught up on a return trip by Vinny and Randy. Short version of the story, I am now the resupply man for the household. I go out to get precious rations for my poor freezing shivering girlfriend and the other survivors of this inhuman climate of 31 degrees. It's been a tough week, but it's been also a blast. As I approach the front door, one of the survivors eagerly smushes his face in the glass window, ecstatic to see my triumphant return. The door opens for me and slams shut as I'm yanked in before the chilly air can creep in with me. I stumble forward and finally collapse onto the couch, into Olivia's waiting arms. The moment my butt hits the comforter, she spreads out like a large blanket. She is opened and enshrouds me in a warm, scaly embrace. Can't let my personal heating rock lose its warmth. Appreciate it. Olivia nuzzles in the crook of my neck and wraps her tail around my waist, trying her best to warm me up. One would assume that a literal cold-blooded Saurian would have a terrible way of warming up. Well, whoever they are, they're dead wrong. Setting the plastic bag on the floor, it begins getting passed around and everyone removes their various goodies. In seconds, Damien's chugged his battery acid energy drink. That's what I needed. Say, you up for another trip, Inko? Olivia signals to Benny, who takes an empty bottle and pops him in the back of the head with it. Oh, Inko, while you were out, I finally thought of something. For our date? Yeah, you'll love it. It's... Knock, knock, knock. Olivia's breath catches as the two of us wait in anticipation as Randy gets the door. But we both know what it is already. Olivia, package for you. My head jostles to and fro, Olivia's excitement translating physically to her arms whacking wildly around my collar. Settle down, settle down. Randy hefts the box containing her new wheelchair parts into the living room and sets it in front of the TV. Want me to set it up for you? Actually, Olivia tilts her head off the couch and starts pushing against the box, sliding it towards her room. Inko and I can do it. Alright. Olivia waves for me to join her as she props the door open and pushes a heavy-looking box into her room. Come on, come on, come on. What are you waiting for? Let's get to it. I like this version of Olivia. This is much better than the other ones. We sit on the edge of the bed with a box before us. Olivia takes a deep breath and extends a single claw. And in a single motion slices the tape open, letting the box flap loose. She starts picking the individual parts out and laying them around. While she does so, I pick up the instructions. Really? What? Come on, give me that. She takes the instructions and rips them into bits. Won't need that. I've had to fix my own chair since I was a kid. Why you? Break it. I break it. I fix it. Simple as. And I broke it a lot when I was younger. Okay, curiosity peaked. How? Olivia turns with the biggest grin on her face. Ramp jumps. She doesn't elaborate, instead waddling over to her desk and retrieving a small hex key set. For the next 15 minutes, we begin to assemble the wheelchair. As it turns out, building this thing isn't as complex as I thought it'd be. Most of it is really just as simple as connect tab A into slot B. There's an innuendo there. We're nearly finished and the metal frame stands proudly, missing everything needed to make it comfortable. Like a seat. This bit connects to the handles there. Alright. So, you were about to tell me about that idea that I'd love for a date? Oh yeah. Have you ever been to a hibachi grill? I've heard of them. They're great. You gotta try it. They sit you down at a table, right? And in the middle of the table is a big flat top grill. Then the chef, hand me that piece right there. Thanks. Then the chef comes in with a cart full of stuff that you ordered. Once the grill gets hot, they start cooking the food right in front of you. And then they bring a whole new meaning to playing with your food. Sounds pretty sweet, right? By the way, that goes the other direction. Clank. Whoops. Yeah, that honestly sounds pretty fun, Liv. It's like dinner and a show, but dinner is the show. I've been wanting to eat at a place like that for years. Alright then, as soon as we finish this, let's call for a table and go. Yes. Olivia's arms and tails wrap around me in a hug, her other hand preoccupied with adjusting the chair's seat to the perfect height. After attaching the armrest to the handle, I stand up in triumph over the fully built mobility chair. Well, I can safely say that your new chair is completed by yours truly. You put the wheels on backwards there. See, if I had sat in that, it would have crumpled and it would have killed me. Oh. She lightly taps me with one of the spare parts. Yeah, so stop trying to kill me, dummy. Just to be safe, we're probably going to have to go back a few steps to make sure things are built correctly. Wonderful. Finally, it's done. Olivia inspects my work, nodding in approval on occasion and adjusting a few parts. Carefully, she moves herself from her bed into the seat. So how is it? Darn it, my legs still don't work. Yeah, you did great. Feels just like the old one. Great job, Inky. Phew. Don't sigh yet, the night's just getting started. Her tail slithers around my waist, inviting me to take the wheel. Ready? Yeah, it'll be cold. I'll be fine. I got my personal furnace with me. Moon, silver, irises turn to me half-lidded, letting me know what my real role in Olivia's life is now. Furnace? Not something sweeter like heated blanket or comforter? Yeah, no. I say that, and then my aunt and uncle would be giving me that talk all over again. So that's where we're going to leave off. So we got date night next time, guys. See you all then. And don't forget to check out my other channel, Sinfully Pure, my Twitch under the same name, and my Patreon and Subscribe Star. Also become a member if you want to help the channel. Thank you guys, and bye.